appearance for the Sealing twins, Ellie and Cassie. And well, you can't make your graduation because of the national championship. You have an impromptu ceremony with the leadership of Concordia St. Paul. One of the coolest things you'll see this week. Ellie, they did this in the auxiliary gym here at the Pentagon, and they got their diplomas, they got a celebration, and they had no idea that the university was planning that for them.
And the best part is mom and dad and grandma got to be in attendance. So a nice little surprise. And Sealing twins are going to continue their volleyball careers. They will head in the spring to play beach volleyball at New Orleans.
Cassie, the libero, was the recipient this week of the Elite Scholar Athlete Award. Has a 4.0 GPA, majoring in mathematics. She was honored on Wednesday night at the Division II banquet with that Elite Scholar Athlete Award. So, two very impressive young women who we got to chat with earlier today. And I know the family, mom and dad, and the entire family proud of the Sealing twins and the careers they've had. Gold tips it in, a 3-point lead here for Concordia St. Paul.
Just a fun dynamic, too, between the twin sisters who don't really fight too much. They said unless there's an ace between them, because they're in the back row together on services.
There were a lot of good stories exchanged earlier today. We told one of them earlier about the runner-up trophy sitting on the desk for both where they live. They look at it every single day to remind them how much they wanted to get back here, and not just get back here, but win here in their final go-around.
They're part of the championship runner-up loss as true freshmen.
For the folks at home that don't know, each individual player gets a mini trophy at the end of the tournament. If you finish runner-up, or if you win it, so you get a mini replica, if you will, the national championship trophy. And that is what sits on the desk at home for both. Kennerman swipes the block.
It's been a nice response by the Roadrunners out of that timeout. In a better rhythm offensively, the serving's been tough.
How good has Getterman been here tonight? 9 kills to pace MSU Denver.
Outstanding. Does not play like a freshman at all. She's been the stabilizing force of this MSU Denver offense.
Bright future for both programs, and for the first time all week, the timing wasn't there in the slide. Waterman set it behind Straw.
And that's the first attack error of this set for Concordia St. Paul, who had struggled with attack errors in the previous 2 sets.
Straw telling Waterman, you're fine. Waterman in her first-year setting for Concordia St. Paul. And a great setter graduate. The coach's daughter, Tegan Starkey, graduated after a stellar 4-year career with the Golden Bears.
Now on staff.
Henderman blocked away. Straub denied it.
The block has come a lot more alive for CSP in this third set, and it's creating some issues at the net. So nice job teaming up here. Straub on that right side pin, along with Aubrey Waterman, the setter.
Straub just explodes off the floor. She is listed 5'9", but plays a whole lot bigger.
They're so springy. Speaking of the block, Caitlin Snoozy too. I like the way that even though her offense hasn't gotten in a rhythm, she's impacting this match with her defense.
First time we called Skylar Michaels' name in a while. And off to a great start in set 1. She now has 7 kills, only 1 attack error. Snoozy on the outside. Still trying to get rolling offensively. MSU Denver trying to tie it up. The slide to Straw. Timing still wasn't there. Norman pushes it through in the middle. We're tied up at 8.
Roadrunners do such a nice job of activating the middles in transition. It makes it extremely stressful on opposing defenses because you have a one-on-one block.
They're setting Mormon a little more than usual. An ace for Brewer, number 9 this week for the junior from Kearney, Illinois.
With Gabrielle Brewer at the service line, this is where the Roadrunners can go on an extended point run. She's got such a lethal line-to-line serve, it just completely drops off.
Slide play for Strong, denied by Mormon. The slide is not as quick as it was the first 2 matches this week for CSP.
No, the timing is a little bit off right now between setter and hitter, and that slide play was an absolute weapon the first 2 matches for CSP.
Both with Straub and also with Cooper. And CSP needed a point. They were running that slide with either of those two players. Deep swing for Getterman. Side out for the Golden Bears.
We're going to attack her from the freshman who has found her way into a starting role on this court because she's been able to minimize the errors throughout this season.
Backside to Worley. Overdid goes to Getterman, who pounds it off the hands of Cassie Seelig.
It's almost unfair how fast this offense is to the right pin. Hitting down on that block while it's still on its way up. Giant hole for Worley to work with.
2-point lead here in the third for the Roadrunners. They won each of the first two sets. They've won 7 straight sets going back to the quarterfinals on Thursday. And they continue to defend Snoozy at a high level. Brewer, Mormon for the middle. Set was low. Mormon 6'3", so it's hard to set her high. And the attack low in the net.
Got to give her a little bit higher ball. It also was a tough set because Gabrielle Brewer was 10 feet off the net, too.
Waterman, the setter for the Golden Bears, sends it to Akamazo, who controls it. Cooper swings out of the reach of Brewer.
Kelsey Cooper has been, when CSP's been able to find her, she's been really effective in the middle. Has great court vision, able to hit her on the block.
Sophomore from St. Croix Falls in Wisconsin. Transferred in this year from Division I, Youngstown State, where she played a ton as a freshman. The top blocker there a year ago. Rolled by Snoozy, met by Hagar. An attack for Worley, dug out by Knoll. Snoozy again, denied again. Cooper turned away. Mormon using her 6'3" size.
Mormon's length is creating so many issues right now on the block. Those long, lanky arms at 6'3". She's getting that press far over the net.
It is 17 attacks for Snoozy, only 2 kills. And she was one of the key offensive players all week.
She's been so efficient here in Sioux Falls.
Bump set goes to Hagar, who rolls it off the net and cross court and down.
MSU Denver's just terminating everything right now, including scramble plays and out-of-system balls. Megan Hagar, this has been her coming out party since that Annika health injury, and she has stepped up in the biggest of ways.
She's approaching a double-double here in the championship. 8 kills, 11 digs. Snoozy rejected again. This time it's saved, though, by Concordia St. Paul. Worley trying to tip it off the block, and she will successfully.
It's a smart shot, and I'm so impressed with Karina Worley's ability as an attacker, especially being undersized, but she just always is making the right decision. And some of that is because being a setter, you know what your attacker needs and what shot you need to go to.
Kelly, we saw the numbers for Worley going into it, and you were trying to figure out going into this week, how would it look? Has it looked the way you thought it would look for Worley, who does so many things well?
It's looked even better than I thought because Worley plays tremendous defense. Quarterfinal match, she had 26 digs, and then her ability to be extremely efficient on that right side as a hitter. She's got a pretty deep toolbox of shots for being able to play both positions.
At DQ, we're all about.
Now for Hagar, 10 kills, 11 digs in the championship match. Nolan will use the block.
Nice job of that block being in position. Just have to turn those hands back to the inner part of the court so Nolan can't tool it.
Once again for Hagar, the playing time increased on Thursday when All-American Annika Health went down with a knee injury late in set 1. MSU Denver dropped that opening set. Since then, they've only lost 1 set the rest of the week.
And that was really a turning point because when Health went down early in that first set, it ended up being a rallying cry for this Roadrunners team, but it could have very easily gone the other way.
Now, we said when it happened, this is going to go one direction or the other. And it went in the positive direction for MSU Denver the rest of the week. Out of system, Michael. Pops it off the block, backed up by Cassie Sealing.
What hassle by Sealing to chase that down.
Michael for the right side again. Bump set by Straub, blocked by Boyd. Knoll for the back row, pops it off the block and down. McKenna Knoll all over the floor.
McKenna Knoll is just the bailout. When you're scrambling offensively, you need a terminal point. You're fine there. Even from the back row, she's very effective.
This is a good timeout here for MSU Denver, trying to slow down Concordia St. Paul. Golden Bears try to win set 3 and then keep on rolling and try to reverse sweep here in the championship.
This is the exact place where the Golden Bears have to really rely on the looseness of this team, the no pressure environment that they've really cultivated.
19 kills for McKenna Knoll. Kind of a slow start early, but really picking up in sets 2 and 3. She's sitting over 400 here in the title match.
This is what makes McKenna Knoll a National Player of the Year. Her ability to work her way out of early errors, to get herself in a rhythm, has incredibly deep range, has all the shots. You can set her anywhere on the court, and she is that go-to player in bailout situations for CSP.
How about this? 5 kills, 5 errors to start. Since then, no errors, 14 kills.
She just has that ability to flip a switch, and it's just scary how good she can possibly be just a sophomore already a Division II ABCA National Player of the Year.
Kind of a late bloomer in high school as an attacker and only scratching the surface of what she can be. I think Brady Starkey told us she's around 60% of where her potential should be at some point during her career, which is scary to think because she's already the National Player of the Year. Overhand handle for Hagar. Gennerman, a big hole in the block for Concordia St. Paul.
Just too many holes right now in that right side block, giving a lot of gaps to Hagar and Gennerman on that left pin.
The serve from Alyssa Boyd. Serves it to Rebecki. An overpass to Mormon. Off-handed push for Straub. Right idea by Gennerman, but could not execute.
Looked like was trying to swipe that off the fingers of the block, but went a little bit errant.
166 career aces for Ellie Sealing, who sends it in the net. Serta Share, lead down to 1 for Concordia St. Paul.
Well, this is where it becomes a little dangerous because you've got Gabrielle Brewer now in to serve for the Roadrunners.
2 aces for Brewer tonight. She has 10 for the week. Snoozy, cross court and down. She really needed that for kill number 3.
That all started better first ball contact on Brewer's serve, which has created some issues here today, especially in the first 2 sets. Snoozy, though, doing a better job here of starting to find a rhythm.
Golden Bears, the first to 20. Now they lead by 3. First time we've seen serve receive breakdown for MSU Denver.
Excellent job by the senior Cassie Sealing of serving the seam in the back row between Brewer and the libero Akamazo.
Career ace number 120 for Cassie Sealing. Worley's attack is dug. Cooper goes off the block in the middle.
CSP has found the light here late in the third. It's all started at the service line. Sealing applying a lot of pressure right now.
Akamazo gathers for Brewer. Gennerman on the outside, side out for the Roadrunners.
One-on-one matchup for Gennerman to work with, and does such a nice job of finding the high fingertips, and that's just something you frankly don't see a lot from freshmen. They just don't have that ability and high IQ early in their careers to go off the high hands.
12 kills now for Gennerman. Dillon serving for the Roadrunner. Pops it off the top of the net. There were a lot of service errors early for MSU Denver, but they were deep, not in the net. Waterman drives it across to Akamazo. Hagar blocked solo by Knoll. Worley, not late to get there, but still dug out by Concordia St. Paul. Brewer, long front set for Hagar. Off the block and down. Hagar the kill. Her 11.
Better job of using the block that time by Hagar. McKenna Nolan's a really good right side blocker. Just needs to turn those fingertips back to the inner part of the court.
Akamazo, the sophomore libero from Litchfield Park, Arizona, serves it to Ellie Sealing. Rising high as Knoll, another kill. 20 for her, and she's now had 20 plus in 4 straight matches.
When you're able to go off the fingertips of the block, it opens up so much more court for you as an attacker. Knoll executes it really well.
Set point for CSP. Senior Robecki, the server. Out of rotation called on MSU Denver. Wow. The first time we've seen that called the entire week for any team. So a unique way to finish. Out of rotation called on the Roadrunners, and the Golden Bears win set 3 to stay alive here in the championship match. Roadrunners looking for their first title. Concordia St. Paul looking for their 10th. We go to set 4 here in Sioux Falls.